Hello there, Abundant Life Living Community. It is I, Coach Tonya Bryant, your transformational coach, and I teach women how to transform their lives through learning how to shift their mindset. I am the owner of Abundant Life Living, and I just love helping, supporting, encouraging, motivating, and inspiring people to transform their lives. You know, my company, Abundant Life Living, is founded upon John 10:10, and it says that the thief comes but to kill, steal, and destroy, but I referring to Jesus, have come that they may have life and life more abundantly, right? And so when you look up that word life, that word is in the Greek is Zoe, and it means the absolute fullness of life running over. I believe that we are not here just to exist, but we're here to live an abundant life, right? But so often we can't live that abundant life because we have the wrong mindsets. We have all of this stuff that we're holding on to that's hindering us from having that abundant life, that life running over, the absolute fullness of life. I don't know about you, but I've determined that but I am going to have an abundant life, right? I am an abundant life. Let me rephrase my language. I am an abundant life. And so everything that I do is so that I can um demonstrate that abundant life. And so I am here to help serve, to help support those women that are ready to live an abundant life, ready to live life to its fullest till it's running over. And I'm crazy enough to believe that I can live the abundant life. That I in every aspect, every component of my life. And so I'm here to talk the past couple of weeks or the past week, I've been talking about the power of affirmation. I've been talking about understanding affirmation. Yesterday, I did a part 2 of understanding affirmations. Well, today I want to talk about affirmations can help you change your life. Abso-darn-lutely, as Dr. Larry Reed, who I often watch. I think he's hysterical. He's anointed. He's a very wise man, and I love his use of language. And so I abso-darn-lutely believe that affirmations can change your whole entire life. They can help you get your whole entire life. It's going to take work. It's going to take that D word, discipline, right? That oftentimes we don't like. But affirmations can help you change your life. I want to talk today a little bit about that, and I want to kind of get a little bit sciencey, right? To help you understand just kind of your brain and your mind and how all of that ties in with affirmations and how that can change your life. You know, Dr. Arena and she is a I believe she is I don't know if she's a neuroscientist or a psychologist, but she was talking about neuroplasticity, and that's what we're going to talk a little bit about today. But what she said in the whole talking about the mind and neuroscience, and one of the things that she says is all behavior change is brain change. So if I change my behavior, I have got to begin to change my brain, right? And I'm going to explain this even more. So again, she says all behavior change is brain change. So when I change my behavior, it's because I have did some work with my brain, right? Because your brain is malleable, right? It can change, it can develop. You know, think about babies, right? We start off as babies and we develop, and our brain develops with our 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 physical development, right? And so I wanted to start off with this because again, we're talking about how affirmations can help change your life, right? So I want to start with kind of reviewing what an affirmation is. And even before I get into affirmations, the root word for affirmations is affirm. So let's talk about what does it mean to affirm. So when you affirm, it means to state something as fact, asserted strongly and publicly. It involves declaring something to be true or valid, often with confidence or conviction. We have got to learn how to affirm ourselves, how to affirm others more, how to assert strongly and publicly, right? It's important that we understand kind of what does affirm mean. And so when then it becomes a noun, right? Because to affirm is action, is a verb. I'm getting into my little teaching stage here. I used to be a teacher, right? And so that's affirm. And so then when we talk about affirmations, well, affirmation then is a noun, a person, place, or thing. So it is a positive statement. Get this, that can reshape your thoughts, your beliefs, and your experiences. Affirmations often are used to challenge and overcome negative and self sabotaging thoughts. Our title today was Affirmations Can Help You Change Your Life. When you begin to speak differently about who you are and what you have the ability to do, that can be the foundation to help you begin to change your life, to help you get rid of this negative self sabotaging thinking, right? Our thinking, the way that we think, plays a part in our life and how we're living, where we're at in life. What your thoughts, your mind are the result of where you are at right now in life. That's right. The power of thoughts and your thinking, it is so powerful. That's why the Bible talks about, and I should have pulled up these scriptures, it talks about casting down imaginations and bringing every lofty thing, every lofty thought into the obedience of Christ. We have the power to dictate our thought life. We have this power. The Bible talks about be ye transformed in Romans chapter 2, Romans chapter 12, verse 2. Be ye transformed by the renewing of your mind. Right? So when you begin to reshape your thoughts, you begin to reshape your thoughts, it can begin to change your life. And those positive statements, affirmations, can help you do such a thing. Today we're talking about affirmations can help you change your life. And so, even scrolling across the bottom of my screen, I have created a free handout called 10 Transformative Affirmations for Wholeness. You can go to bit.ly/10 wholeness to download those affirmations. Not only are there affirmations, but I talk about what I'm talking about today. I give you kind of some history and some just understanding behind it. There is power. There is power in affirmations, right? And so, as I said, those affirmations can help you begin to shape your thoughts and your belief in your experiences. Now, one of the things, there is another doctor, Dr. Caroline Leaf, and she says that we are thinking beings, point blank, period. We are thinking beings. There is research that says that we think about 6,000 to 60,000 thoughts daily. So we are thinking beings. She says in her book, and this what I'm quoting, what's on this little part here is from her book, Switch on the Brain. So she says we're thinking beings, excuse me. She said the brain does the mind's work. So we have a brain and we have our mind. The brain is the physical organ within our mind, right? And so it's not the mind doing the brain's work. The brain does the mind's work. Our brain is changing moment by moment as we're thinking. By our thinking and our choosing, we're redesigning the landscape of our brain. Another thing that she says you're thinking being okay. You think all day and all day long, and at night as you sleep, you're sorting out your thinking. As you think, you choose, and that's what I had pulled from this. And as you choose, you cause genetic expressions to happen in your brain. This means you make protons, and these protons, get this, form your thoughts. So thoughts are real physical things that occupy our mental real estate, our mind. So thoughts are not these nebulous things hanging out in space, but they're proteins. They're proteins that we develop, that our brain develops it within our mind, right? Or within our brain. I thought that was so powerful. Let's see, did I? So that's that. Okay. So we are thinking beings. Our brain does the mind's work or the mind's bidding. Our brain is changing moment by moment as we're thinking. And by our thinking and choosing, we're redesigning the landscape of our brain. And so this redesigning is what we call neuroplasticity. Neuroplasticity. And so, what that is, that's the brain's ability to reorganize itself by forming new neural or synaptic connections. This process allows the brain to adapt to new learning or experiences and even recover from injuries, right? So when we go, so I want you to think about neuroplasticity as this. So imagine your brain is like a flexible piece, and let me take this off. I'll put this back on. A super flexible piece of clay, right? And just as clay is moldable, right? You can take clay and it can be reshaped. It can be shaped and reshaped into all different forms. Well, your brain is the same way. It changes and adapts based on your experiences, right? It says here the ability of the brain to change throughout your life is what we call neuroplasticity. This is important. This is important in understanding this as it relates to affirmations, because remember, affirmations are positive statements that can reshape your thoughts, beliefs, and experience. They're used to challenge, overcome negative and self-sabotaging thoughts. So I just talked about how your brain is like clay and it can be molded. And so, why is this important? Because we talked about every time you learn something new, your brain is reorganizing and it's creating these connections, right? That uh, neural connections, like pathways. So let's do another example. So think about when you were a child. Think about the first time you learned how to ride a bike, right? It wasn't super easy. I know for myself, I fell a couple of times. And back in the day, we didn't have, we didn't wear the helmets and the pads and all that. You just had, and I have the evidence from scraped arms of falling off of bikes, right? So my dad was teaching me how to ride a bike. Now, the first time, like I said, when I got on it, I sucked. It was hard. But the more I practiced, the better I got. Why? Because my brain was building those new pathways. My brain, through neuroplasticity, was building new neural synaptic connections. And so the more I practiced, the better I got. Because again, the more I practiced, the more I became experienced, right? And so those new pathways as I was doing it, my brain was building these new connections, helping me learn how to balance and pedal at the same time. So when we think about neuroplasticity, that was a physical aspect. Well, we can also look at it as it relates to our thoughts and our emotions. So if you're constantly telling in your mind, you're meditating, you're thinking, I can't do this. What happens is your brain then begins to make a default pathway because you keep telling your thoughts are developing saying, I can't do this. I can't do. So your brain is actually those thoughts, which are protons, which are real things, they're building these pathways. And your brain is saying you can't do it because you keep saying you can't do it. Right? You are doing the negative of affirming. You're saying that I can't do this. But then when you begin to affirm, when you begin to speak positive statements, you begin to reshape you begin to speak certain things, which then reshapes your thoughts and your belief and your experiences. Then you start to believe. So if you're saying, I can't do this, I can't do this, your brain is making a pathway. But then when you start to change and think, okay, I can do this, I can do, your brain then begins to create new and more positive pathways. You are training your brain to be more positive and resilient. One of the things that we talked about when I was talking about affirmations are kind of like a mental exercise for your brain. So affirmations, these things that, and it's so unfortunate because there's a fad of, okay, I'm going to speak these affirmations, right? But because we're not disciplined, because we're not really diving into this, we're not seeing change. But when you begin to speak positive affirmations on your life and you are consistent, and that's the key, you are disciplined, you are going to begin to see change. Now, did I have one of the key things with these affirmations? You've got to be disciplined. You've got to be consistent. What is discipline? Discipline is the consistent human effort to create space in your life, your spirit, your soul, your body, financial, in order to achieve a certain goal. When I was learning to become, learning how to ride a bike, I consistently was practicing. I was consistently getting on that bike and learning how to falling, but keep getting up, kept going, kept affirming, I can do this, I can do this. What was happening, my brain was building these pathways, right? And so when you begin to affirm, you begin to speak affirmations over your life. It can begin to shape your life. Affirmations then can begin help you to change your life, right? I want you to go to bit.ly/10wholeness to download my 10 transformative affirmations for wholeness. There is power in affirmations. Affirmations can help you change your life if you're willing to put in the work. If you're willing to put in the work. Why? Because we are thinking beings. We've got to begin to change our thoughts. Because when we affirm, when we begin to speak statements, positive statements over our life, it can begin to reshape our thoughts, our beliefs, and our experiences. A positive affirmations can begin to challenge those negative and self-sabotaging thoughts. Why are you not achieving certain things? It first starts in your mind. Do you believe it? Right? What are you affirming? What are you meditating upon? What are you speaking? Affirmations have the power to change your life if you are ready to do the work. Again, I want you to go to bit.ly/10 wholeness to download my 10 transformative affirmations for wholeness. See, as we enter into 2024, it's time to make some changes in our life. It's time for us to begin to affirm that we are good health, that we're happiness, we're love, we're success, we're prosperity. It's time for us, even as I look at the affirmations. One of the affirmations says, I am worthy of love, happiness, and fulfillment. Another one says, I am whole, spirit, soul, body, and financial. We have got to begin to affirm ourselves. And when we begin to do that, what's happening is we are molding our brain, right? We're creating those connections, those synaptic connections, right? We're rewiring our brain for success. We're rewiring our brain for just the abundance of life. Right. And so we have got to really begin to do the necessary work so that we can live the abundant life. I want to encourage you to go to bit.ly/10 wholeness to download my free 10 transformative affirmations for wholeness handout. I don't know about you, but as I enter into 2024, I'm going to get all that I'm supposed to get. And it starts though with me believing that. I'm speaking it, I'm believing it, and then I'm ready to do the work. I'm ready to do the necessary things so that the things that I know I'm supposed to have and be in 2024, it will manifest. It starts with your affirmations. My name is Tonya Bryant. I am your transformational coach. I have just been talking about how affirmations can help you change your life. I have a free gift. You can go to bit.ly/10 wholeness. It's scrolling across the bottom of your screen to download my 10 transformative affirmations for wholeness handout today. It's time for you to make the change. Why? So that you can begin to live that abundant life, that Zoe life, that life running over the absolute fullness of life. And through affirmations and the work that you put in with the affirmations, you can change your life. I want to thank you so much for joining. I will see you on these social media streets. God bless you and bye now.